Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Obviously, late last week, we got the official reveal for Season 3 of Warzone. We got the whole trailer featuring Kong and Godzilla, obviously. We got the roadmap. We also got a small blog post detailing some of the content as well. And this blog post, while we did sort of skim through it in our video breaking down the reveal for the season, had some more what I would call specific details on the launch of the season and what to expect throughout the season as well, including what appears to be a very significant teaser for our next Warzone event. Obviously, we got Operation Monarch with Kong versus Godzilla happening, but we're already teasing future events likely for the end of Season 3 / the start of Season 4. On top of that, we also got some new leaks and some new rumors regarding Modern Warfare 2's weapons. Lots to break down today as we go through it all. If you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every single day I got you covered with everything going on in COD. So feel free to hit that sub button. That way you can always stay up to date. So first things first, let's go over a general overview of some of the main things you'll want to know about Season 3 headed into this week. Obviously, when it comes to the actual updates, we do have two separate updates this week. One is for Vanguard, one is for Warzone. The Season 3 content in and of itself is not going to be going live until the Warzone update drops, so that's very important to note. The Vanguard update takes place at 9 a.m. Pacific time on the 26th. And then the Warzone update, that's going to happen at 9 a.m. Pacific time on the 27th. So while we do have the Vanguard update dropping a day earlier, that's just going to include the patch notes, maybe a few slight content changes here and there. Sometimes the maps drop early in private matches, but we're not going to see the battle pass. We're not going to see the new weapons or even the new operators until 9 a.m. Pacific on the 27th when the Warzone update drops and everything for Season 3 is live. We will have two separate days of patch notes though, so obviously we're going to be covering all that here on the channel. Stick it here for that. And then, really not that long after the launch of Season 3, we have the start of Operation Monarch, which is the whole Godzilla versus King Kong event. That'll be starting at 9 a.m. Pacific on May 11th. So we get like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks of Season 3 being live, and then we're already into the first major event. And keep in mind, Operation Monarch, the Kong and Godzilla event, is not the mid-season update. We have this event taking place, and then later on into this season, a different mid-season update that's going to start the teasers for the next major event and map update in Warzone, which obviously we're going to get to later on in this video. This blog post did also detail a little bit more about the Kong versus Godzilla event, and it says that they're going to lay siege to Caldera with a new limited time event. So I don't think it's going to be like a one-day thing like, let's say, with the end of Verdansk event. It's going to be a LTM over the course of probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I say that because we're going to have bundles dropping for Kong and Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla. So I don't think all that would drop on one day for, a 2-hour LTM. It seems more likely that this is going to happen over the course of, a couple weeks, most likely. And this blog does essentially confirm that Godzilla and Kong is not going to be a cutscene. It's going to be an actual in-game event where they are fighting. They say we're going to have to acquire these special weapons to combat them. So this does seem to be a large-scale in-game event that we can actually participate in, which personally I love. Now, moving on, something that this blog post and all these new seasonal images show us is that with Season 3, it does appear that the lighting in the skybox on Caldera is going to be changing. Obviously, now it's very sunny. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to see players because you're looking into the sun, but with all these new images, all these new screenshots, the skybox looks a lot more stormy. There are some gray clouds, there's a lot more cloud cover in general, and it also teases some potential future changes to the environment and sort of what's going on in game as well. The blog post says that dark days appear on the horizon. Now, this could potentially be teasing a storm incoming. We have the, clouds coming in now that are sort of gray and stormy-esque. Perhaps in the future we have a rainy gameplay element that actually is added into the game, or this is potentially teasing something else that ties into the mid-season update, which has to do with underground rumblings. This blog post details a lot of information here about the mid-season patch. They say Operation Monarch, aka Godzilla vs. Kong, is going to have a great impact on the map. That alone is teasing some major map changes coming as a result of this fight of this event, so we know that's going to shake things up. But there's also something else happening underneath the island, this blog post says, and well, we know Caldera is a volcano, so we know what's under the map. You can sort of put 2 and 2 together there. This to me is screaming Volcano Event inbound, probably at some point in Season 4 or potentially even to end Season 3. The way that I see this playing out is that come the mid-season update, probably in late May, I would assume, we're going to see this happen. The Kong and Godzilla event will be concluded. The map will be drastically changed because of that. And then we start to see some smoke sort of rise from Caldera, from that little crater in the center of it, where obviously we can go down in and explore. And over the course of the final few weeks of Season 3, maybe we start to get some slight rumbling here and there. You know, the caldera is starting to get into that first phase of eruption. More smoke starts to, you know, sort of rise out of the caldera and peak area there. That is how I see that going. And going back to that dark days appear on the horizon, obviously, when a volcano starts to erupt and we get all that smoke, that could potentially cause even more cloud cover. Maybe that smoke from the volcano makes the sky even darker. Maybe we have like sort of a nighttime-esque mode because of the volcano starting to erupt. Then that leads to that ultimate eruption event. I see no other way that this plays out other than a new volcano event coming to the game based off of these teasers so far. Clearly referencing peak and referencing something happening under the island, which obviously, as stated, is a volcano. So that to me is how this is going to play out towards the end of Season 3 and the start of Season 4. Then obviously after that, we're getting closer and closer to the launch of MW2, where we'll see more things tie into that general storyline and preview some stuff there. They also mentioned some small updates for Rebirth. Obviously, a lot of Season 2 is based around Rebirth. A lot of Season 3 is based around Caldera. They did confirm a new exfiltration mode coming to Rebirth. If you remember back on Verdansk, we had the one mode where you had to like get the radio and then you had to survive with it long enough for the helicopter to come in. I imagine it's probably going to be a Rebirth twist on that mode based off the description there. But this blog post, like I said, did have some smaller details about some updates relating to the mid-season patch and some other stuff that I feel like a lot of players probably skipped over or didn't realize were in that blog initially. Moving on from that though, like I said earlier, we do have a couple of new leaks regarding some Modern Warfare 2 weapon information. Now, we have had some of this in the past. It's very hard to preview weapons this far out because so many things can change. And keep in mind, even with this stuff, this is leaks, this is rumors, it could all very easily change as well. But this is stemming from the Ghost of Hope. We've talked about him several times in the past. Pretty credible insider thus far. And recently he was talking on Twitter about how 2 weapons in particular seem to be returning in Modern Warfare 2022, those being the Intervention and the ACR. 2 absolute icons in the Modern Warfare universe. Obviously, 2 guns that we had back in MW2 in 2009, and those will likely be used as hype factors for the game, but also be awesome to actually get to play with those yet again. And the Ghost of Hope also mentioned that we should be seeing the return of 5 attachment class setups for MW 2022, which personally I'm a big fan of. Vanguard obviously introduced 10 attachments, which just seems like it's overkill. It makes everything way more complex than it needs to be. I'm not really a fan of it. It also messes things up for Warzone, where some guns have 5, some guns have 10. Just keep it all the same, keep it consistent, and it makes everybody's lives way, way easier. So I'm hoping that this does end up coming to fruition, not only with the Intervention and the ACR, but also weapons maxing out at 5 attachments. That's the new information we have, though, on MW2 weapons as of right now. Obviously, we're still a ways out from launch. We'll get a lot more information on what's going to be happening with the weaponry and with the arsenal in this game as time goes on. Whenever that stuff surfaces, you already know I'm going to be covering it here on the channel alongside everything else going on in COD, so feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. That way you can always guarantee you are up to date. But that said, that's going to wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. It really does help grow the channel. And as always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products. The links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.